Boom, and we are live with another episode of the Brownwater Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
It is Joey Cates, and we got a good one in the studio for you. We have everybody on the Gulf Coast who makes tackle. All the local tackle makers are here in the studio. We corralled them all up. We tricked them with a treble hook, and they showed up. It's going to be a great conversation. We're going to dive into a lot of different stuff, how they got their start. We're going to talk about some local fishing tournaments coming up. But before we do that, you know what we got to do right out of the gate here. We got to thank the people that keep the lights on for us over here at the Brownwater Studios. Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles. Man, if you're looking for a great local dentist, you can look them up on the socials at Southern Magnolia Smiles on Facebook and Instagram. 2026 is a year to get them pearly whites shined up and looking good. Book that consultation with them by giving them a call at 228-215-1202 and tell them Brownwater sent you. If you need legal representation, this is our buddy Tyler right here in the photo. Taylor & Cox Law Firm is practicing law on the Mississippi Gulf Coast for over 30 years. They're in Jackson County, George County, and Greene County. They specialize in felonies, misdemeanors, DUI, BUI, family law, divorce, child custody. Pretty much if you need somebody that's going to fight tooth and nail for you in the courtroom, these are your guys. Yeah. Give them a call at 228-696-0111. And again, tell them Brownwater sent you. You have blown any chance of a New Year's resolution completely out of the water. It's March right now.
On the beach.
So, you got to let go of that. But Forever Young Men and Women's Health can get you back on track, moving around, feeling better, or getting yoked, as Joey likes to say it. Whatever your goal is, their motto is bringing medicine, health, and exercise together to help men and women live their best lives. So go check out the episode we did with Kendrick. He's very knowledgeable on all things hormone replacement, vitamin replacement, just health and wellness, man. You can book a consultation with them. They'll draw some lab work on you. They'll sit down with you. They'll go over it. They specialize in testosterone replacement for both men and women. So give them a call at 228-363-6623 and tell them Brownwater sent you. Coming up April the 18th at Dewey Bugs in D'Iberville, we have the Brownwater Bash. Somebody's going to be turning in a hardhead catfish into $1,000, $500 for second place too for the first loser. We got some gaff top categories, white trout, black drum, and redfish as well. We want to thank all of our sponsors who's a part of this. Yeah, these gentlemen right here. Yeah, that's what we're going to roll into. That's why they're here. And without them, we can't do these tournaments. I say it every time, and I'm going to continue to say it. So family-friendly event. It's going to be fun. We love hosting these tournaments. It's a lot of work, but it's always worth it, too. We have a kids division as well. What is it, Joey? Help me out. 12 and under or under 12?
No kids division in this one.
Okay, good. That's what I meant to say. That was a trick.
You're a tournament ahead, bro.
I'm a tournament ahead. Okay,
yeah.
Anyway, it's still going to be fun, and it is family-friendly at Dewey Bugs. You can come hang out and order food and stuff like that. It's great. So I know I beat you on that one, so let me click here. Gentlemen, first off, thank y'all all for being here and showing up and hanging out with us and sponsoring the tournament. Let's just go around the horn, introduce yourself and your company first, and then we'll get into like how you got started and the whole backstory. Let's go around. We'll start with you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Tim Holden. I own T3 Tackle and Outdoors.
Sweet.
Justin Melton, Skinny Water Innovations.
All right.
And my name is Chenevert, and I own Chenevert Tackle.
Now, where'd you get the name?
That's how you say it.
Oh, I've been butchering that thing the whole
time.
Anyway, it's some kind of tackle company. Yeah. But so awesome, guys. So we've had some tackle people on the show before. I love hearing these stories. We got 3 of y'all here. So let's take turns and all born and raised on the Gulf Coast right here. Okay, we'll get that one out of the way, knock that one down. Fished your whole lives? Got that one. That's what I figured. Love the water. It's in your blood, and you're addicted to it.
Yeah,
awesome. Okay, the consensus is they are all in the same.
It's like the Spider-Man pointing at each other.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, box checked. All right. Well, we'll start with you. How did you go from, hey, I'm buying tackle and I love fishing to I think I can make this stuff?
It's really, my kids.
Okay.
Really and truly. Not necessarily like I'm building this for them, but I'm doing this to show them that they can take something that they like doing or love to do and turn that into something productive in the future. Whether or not they choose to do that, but I'm essentially doing that to show them.
Okay.
Hey, this is something that you could do if you like this or whatever it is that you're into.
Okay.
And them little jokers can fish. That's the ones that win our tournament all the time.
Yep. I did know distinctly. They've been in all the photos. We talked about this before. I'll go through and update the websites from time to time, and I'll see the kids' photos from like when we started this to now, and I'm like, holy shit, look at that kid. Like these, it's your kids half the time because they're always in the photos, And I'm like, wow, they're getting older. And you know what that means is like, we're getting older,
Which
kind of sucks. But
well, there's only one alternative.
That's right, and that one ain't good either.
Yes.
So showing your kids, I love that. Have they do you think they appreciate it? Do you think they understand it, or they just think it's cool that you're making your own stuff?
They do, and if y'all have watched my content before, you know that I've chosen the social media route to promote my company,
Right?
And so
as we all have to, yeah.
And so with that comes, I make videos, I make posts, things like that, and so we'll sit down sometimes, and they think it's really cool that we have our videos out there, right? Or they watch videos of me fishing, and they're like, "Man, that's
it's
cool.
a celebrity."
We'll go to the gas station, and they'll be like, "My dad's on YouTube," and I'm not really that. It's not like that, but
to
anyways,
them it is.
I know, and that's they think that part of it's really, really cool, and
that's
so
awesome.
I'm just trying to show them that they could do that if they wanted to.
That's right, and it's a good way to bond, like you're saying. That's amazing.
Yeah. And y'all fish a bunch.
Yeah.
And so you got product testing all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's it been like from buying something at the store, liking it or not liking it, and say, why don't they do this better, do that better? Start making your own stuff. Have you been like, oh, I see why this or I see why that? Is there any of those kinds of experiences?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot in relation to the whole industry by any means, but I found out a little bit. And yes, I mean, I went to the store and I wish this was like this or that was like that. Yeah. And so just like anybody else, not just like a lot of people do whenever they get into something new, I went to the internet. Right. I went to the internet. How do you do this? And eventually I was able to deduct that down into a few different ways that people do this or do that. And and so I was able to kind of learn about that through those avenues.
I think it's a great thing about living in the times that we do. The social media's got a ton of negative shit about it. But like that's one thing nowadays. If I hear somebody say, well, I don't know how to do that, I'm like, there's only a few
YouTube University.
I was gonna say there's only a few. I'm like doctors, like all that stuff. You can learn. You can learn a little bit about it on YouTube. So it's kind of your fault. If you really want to learn something, the ability to learn it is out there.
And I watched my dad growing up. Whenever they would make bigger weights for like offshore fishing and big jig heads, and so it's similar but not the same, right? And so then I had to figure out how to do the custom side of things, and that's kind of where that came into play with figuring out where to go and how to buy this or do whatever and make things exactly how I want them. I fish a little bit, and so I feel like I have a somewhat good idea of what's going to work, whether it's just holding a bait on a jig head or the type of hook that you need or, things like that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I think one thing that it just hit me as you were talking about that, I want to get into specifics of what each of your companies do as far as what you make, but it just hit me like the three of y'all are sitting here on the show together. It's not like the pie is big enough for everybody is what I'm assuming you guys understand.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And anytime I see that, I think it's great because you can build music scene, right? I come from that world too, like bands that try to take away from one another versus the ones that just be like communal about it and build a scene here locally. That's what it seems like you guys are doing. That's pretty cool. So hats off to you on that.
Or come together and make a super band.
Right. We'll get to that
later.
Super band. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So how about you, sir? We already checked off born, raised, fishing in your blood. How did you start making the stuff?
Well, we started, of course, me and my son, he's 12. We fish inshore all the time.
I should have added that to the box.
I was at Tim's house one day actually buying tackle, and I was like, man, I'm tired.
I'm tired of giving Tim his mom
not his stuff, but I was like, I'm tired of buying gulps. Like, we'll go through, if we're slaying, flounder one day, we'll go through 3 packs of gulps. That's $30. Not that we can't afford it, but
well, hell, I mean,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be a cheaper way.
I want to spend this much money on golf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I do that too.
Oh God.
But
I was like, nice wife.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Yes. Yeah. Good answer.
But I was like, there's got to be a cheaper way. So it started off as just I pulled on Tim's ear about it, and he was like, hey man, if you make them, I'll fish them, we'll put them out there. So I started making some, and it was kind of just we'll make ours, we'll hook Tim up, whatever we need to do, friends, whatever. And then it ended up, it's a rabbit hole once you get into it.
Like any other hobby.
We started out with a 4-inch grub, like curly tail grub, like the gulps, swimming mullet, and then it went to this mold, then it went to that, then it went to that.
Haywire.
Then I was like, well, let's put it out there. We were doing this last summer, trying to dial in a plastisol, like a plastisol blend custom that we have that is mixed together for here, what's strong enough but still keeps the same action, that you need, but still lasts, like I said, strong enough. And then I think we finally launched in early October or something that we were going to put it out there on Facebook. And it kind of went from there. It just kind of blew up. It went, within a few months, less than a few months, I think we had 1,200 followers and, course, Tim was a lot of help on that. He fished them, and of course, put his content on. Content
absolutely.
On his page.
Scratch each other's back.
Stores started contacting us to put them in there, and
really,
it's just kind of
like local stores.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
And it just kind of blew up from there. So
all right,
now we're just trying to keep up.
Tim, tell us. I think we went by you. Tell us what your company makes. What all does it cover?
Jig heads, essentially, for soft plastics. I have some stuff for live bait, dead bait as well, but mainly artificial, from 16th ounce up to 3/8 ounce, and everything in between.
You make sheephead jigs too, right?
Sheephead jigs, yeah, from November until about this time of year, maybe a couple weeks from now. That's a very, very big seller of ours. We do a lot of sales in sheephead jig heads, that sweeper style.
Yeah, and yours covers the soft plastics, right?
Yeah, we're soft plastics, all artificial. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 6 baits right now. May grow some more, may take some away. We don't know. Trying to narrow it down. Still in a learning process of what people want and what people don't want.
For sure.
And you can't make everybody happy.
No, you'll
can't. Pull one thing and be like, why can't you make it like this?
That's right.
Change the color. It needs to be purple.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that.
Then you make purple it sells 2.
Exactly.
And you're like, but I made 100. And you asked me for it, and you didn't buy the 2. You just bought 2. You know what I mean? So, what about you, sir? How'd you get into this?
Well, it honestly started when I was probably 11 or 12 years old. My parents live over by St. Andrews, and I would hop on my bike and ride down to Bell Fountain Beach, and I'd go get driftwood that washed up, and I'd come back and I had me some carving knives I got for a Christmas gift, and I would sit there and carve them and make top waters. And
like a wood plug, cedar plug,
But I mean, I'd paint them and treble hooks and all that, the 3-wire system in them. So that's really when I got started. But that only ran for as a little hobby for a couple of years, and then I got into football in middle school, and that carried on all the way.
Girls at some point.
That'll ruin all. Did it all went down.
I don't have no time or any money.
Absolutely. But I got into that, and like I said, I got busy with football and everything. And then last summer, I got tired of buying corks.
Okay.
I got sick and tired of it because you go to Academy and you spend $7, $8 on a cork, and of course you're behind the Beau Rivage on the rocks.
And
well, it don't take but one cast to lose it. So $7, $8 a quart, it kind of stings. So I was like, well, you know what? Let me look into making them myself. So that I was just looking at meat. Well, once I found everything where I wanted to source everything from, at first I had looked into actually making the float itself with the styrofoam, but that's a little bit more of an intuitive process than doing it in the shed in the backyard.
Little chemistry involved. You're like, shit, I should have paid attention for it.
But I'd found everything I wanted to source it at, and made a few for myself, and I was like, maybe I'll be able to market and sell these things down here. I know, to my knowledge, there's only one other guy in Ocean Springs making corks, I believe.
Big Red.
Yeah. Been on the show.
I'd gotten a few of his, and I liked his. But like I said, I just got tired of buying them. I said, well, I want to look into just making them myself, and then that idea went into, let me try to sell them too.
Okay.
It seems like a common thing. It seems like everybody went to Walmart or Academy and grabbed some junk that didn't last too long and said, there's got to be a better solution than this, and just went back to the drawing board. Yeah.
Give us a time frame for each of you, like when you got started with this specific, with the tackle specifically, making it.
So as far as whenever I started really in November of 2024, and then early 2025 is whenever I really kicked it off. I guess you could
rolled
say.
It out or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime you're starting a business, it's not as easy as just I'm gonna sell this. Right? There's a lot that goes into that, and I'd never done that before on that level, and so there was a lot to figure out with paperwork and this and that. So, anyways, after I got all that kind of under control, it was probably early 2025 when we really got kicked off.
So this is new.
Yeah.
What about you?
Fairly.
Same with me. I would say last year. So it was really honestly, it was probably spring, early summer of 25. We decided this, and then we started kind of research and development. Like, all right, let's get what we want, get a little bit, let's get a mold, let's figure out the plastic, let's figure out the process of all this. Cause let's YouTube, right? Like we were talking earlier, let's get on YouTube, figure out what all this is. Started it, and then we kind of got it nailed down. I wouldn't say all the way, of course we're learning every day still too. Right. But we kind of got it nailed down, and it was late 25, so late last year that we kind of launched and put it out there.
I got started in June of last year. That's when I started going down the rabbit hole. It didn't really.
The stars aligned in June last year for some kind of tackle thing. Any astronomers out there can look that up. All three. Is there a constellation or something that kicked it off? I didn't either. Anyway, go ahead.
But it wasn't until I'd say fall, August, September. It was really September when Foul Play opened up in Van Cleve.
Sponsor the show. Sponsor the tournament.
They're
it's the first place I bought Chenevert tackle popping corks myself. Really? Yeah.
Tim had actually reached out to me. He was like, "Hey man, I'm not sure if if you're at the point where you're, trying to get into retail yet, or, maybe you want to wait a little while, but there's a new outdoor store opening up in Van Cleve. Maybe you might want to hit them up." So I said, well, now's as good a time as any. Anytime like the present.
That's right.
So I messaged them. They were like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." And from talking to him, anybody else that's out there that's looking into, getting into this kind of stuff, Drew at Foul Play would much rather have local made stuff 100%. Than anything from,
you got a whole wall. I love to hear got a whole wall of just local made stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome to me. Yeah. To me, that's killer. What's that feeling like? Are all y'all in there?
Yes.
Yeah. What's that feeling like when you take a leap or investment in yourself, take a leap of faith, do something you're passionate about, your hobby. Now you're going to start creating it. And then someone like that, like a business, right? It's like validation, feels good, right?
It's different. So we started, making this, in a good buddy of mine, Johnny owns the Islander Outfitters downtown.
Yeah.
He was like,
Josh well.
Yeah. He was like, put your baits in the store or whatever. And then he was like, set up outside for Peter Anderson Festival and all that. Yeah. So I did that, but it was, it's kind of a shock. Yeah. I was up front.
I went by there. We get golf carts every year. And I was like, that dude's got tackle.
Yeah.
And I was drinking. So I was like,
you don't have beer right now. Right. I'm on a different motive.
Yeah, we started there, and then it was, of course, Landon talked to Drew about me, so Foul Play called me, and and then Nelson's called us, and then we got called by a bunch of other people. It's kind of like great businesses. It's just shocking, because me and my son used to joke, he loves Nelson's. I mean,
it's a great store.
If he wants to go somewhere, it's Nelson's. Yeah. So we used to joke that'd be cool if we were in there one day, and then they call us one day and order a ton of merchandise, and it was just kind of it's shocking.
Yeah. What'd your son think?
He loved it. He loved it. Yeah. He tells all his buddies.
Dad, we're real. Are we rich now?
Yeah.
Well, no. Have you heard about margin?
Right. I still remember the first time that we went out and somebody had a brown water shirt on. I was like, "Dad, we made it."
Yeah. We had
Joe Rogan, bro.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be like Cody, going to work next day, flip the table over. I'm done with this shit.
I quit.
Look
all
at the bank account. You're like, okay, I got a little ahead of myself. But it is a pretty killer feeling. Yeah. How did y'all do? How did it come about? How'd y'all meet? All of y'all? Did y'all all know each other already?
So Justin and I went to school together. We graduated high school together.
Yeah, we've known each other since elementary school.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same.
Landon, we met through TikTok. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. But what's crazy, and I don't mean to cut you off, is even Solus, who was in here the other night, they didn't know Marcus McDavid was from the coast.
They told us that. Yeah, they were watching his videos.
Like, holy, you know what I'm saying? And then you find it and you realize that all these people are right next to you.
Yeah. Well, I found out that he was that he was able to do machinery as far as mold making, I guess you could say. And so I'd hit him about that, hey, could you do this for me? And then come to find out he lives not far from me in the first place. So it's just kind of odd how it all started. And
do I have to mail it? How far away is this? As it can take, he's like, well, he gives you address. You're like, dude, you live 10 minutes from me.
We literally all live within probably half a mile of each other.
That's crazy.
Not far at all.
They probably never would have met if not for any of this, right?
No, I wouldn't have met Landon. He popped up at the Peter Anderson, and and I'd already been buying his popping corks,
Right.
you know, so I
Damn,
knew who
already
he
a
was.
customer.
Yeah, I knew who he
yeah.
was. So we got to talking, and then he hit us up the next day about what we'll get to later.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the process to each one, because I know each process is different making it. So you got to go to the pouring process and getting all the materials for that and finding materials for that.
Yeah, and so I said earlier that I started in early 25. That's whenever I really started like ramping up production as far as selling jig heads.
Right.
But I had been doing it for about maybe a year, not quite, maybe 7 months leading up to that point, trying to figure out, you know, who's going to make my custom molds. Where do I need to source materials from as far as whether it be lead or hooks or whichever. Getting all of my ducks in a row for getting my tax information right to be able to buy things wholesale, you know. But that was the bulk of what I did for the first while that I was really getting into this, was trying to figure out exactly where all of these things come from, because you can't just go to the store and buy a mold to do this with. And then every one of them is different in some way. This one likes more heat. This one likes more of this. And then I got to find, a lot of people are like, you can just get a lot of cheap free lead from this or that, and you can.
Tires is what I've always heard, but it's dirty, right?
You don't want to do that. You can,
Yeah.
but it's a lot better if you end up just getting right to the clean stuff, I guess you could say, and it causes you a lot less problems. And so there was a lot of trial and error leading up to whenever I actually started selling, because I wasn't about to just order some stuff, hope it worked out, and list some products right. I wanted to make sure that what I was doing was right before I got too far ahead of myself and couldn't back up what I was putting out there.
Right.
And I, like I said before, I fish a little bit. And so I was able to
fish a lot.
He's being very modest.
I was able to really test all of that beforehand. Does this, I know you don't like the word gulp, but
I love it. I still use them.
Does this product hold a gulp? Does it hold this? Does it hold, you know, these other soft plastics that are super soft? Because that's what, if I just build something that doesn't hold anything, but the hook's sharp, that's not going to do as well as something that does the whole package, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the beginning of it until where I'm at right now with how I got there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you settle on hooks? What do you use for all your hooks most of the time?
Mainly, it varies. So my King of the Bayou jig head, that's kind of our staple soft plastic jig head.
Is there any over there we can pull out while he's talking, Joey?
No, I got some in my house.
Okay. Run and go get them.
Those are Mustad. They're Mustad 32824. If anybody looks them up, it's a 2X jig hook, because a lot of people around here catch a lot of redfish, right? And so you need something that's kind of stronger. You don't need a fine wire hook. My slot machine jig heads, those are a Victory hook. And so there's a couple different brands that I utilize, and it's not necessarily like I really just want to use these. It's that I tried a bunch of different kinds. I've got so many 25 count packs of hooks at my house that I just tried.
Brand tested them.
I really did.
Yeah.
And I don't have any affiliation with any of these big hook manufacturers. I just went and figured out what works. Is this corrosion resistant? That's a huge factor here. That might not be a factor in freshwater or some other kind of product, but all of it. I tried to figure out what works, what's strong enough, what's corrosion resistant, things like that.
We had a comment come in from Cody. Let me see if it'll pop up. There it is, right. I'm assuming that's for you. I'm not sure. Cody, we appreciate the comment. Captain Derek Palmer was in here a minute ago too. He said, "What's up, man? We appreciate the comment." I know one thing that I wanted to ask was, did you have something right there?
No, go ahead.
And you just kind of went through a little bit of your process there, but was it just a natural thing as to why you're doing jig heads, you're doing corks, and you're doing the soft plastic? Is that correct? Did that just it seems very cohesive that y'all are all doing your own thing. I didn't do jig heads because I bought all mine from Tim.
So
you're like, I don't need it.
You know, and I
got a guy for that.
I was happy with it.
Yeah,
you know, so yeah, and it was just spending that money. You know, and jig heads last, right? You know, the paint may come off, whatever, but they last. They're gonna last. You know, so it was, you know, tired of, you know, if you get on the gulps, I don't hate gulps, but you know, I still use them. I still get 10 packs in my bag, but. You know, you throw it out there. If you get a bite, you'll bring it back. It's gone.
Yeah.
You know,
especially with flounder.
Yeah,
you might as well just leave it here, because by the time you pull the hook out, it's always
done.
Stuck in there.
You know, I was like, man, it's got to be a better way. It's got to be something else.
Yeah.
Okay. And then corks was just that was natural progression.
Yeah. Back when I was getting started, making them little topwater baits. Back in those days, I was either throwing a topwater I made or a live shrimp on a popping cork out back in Graveline Bayou with my dad in a little John boat. I think he got off Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace.
Wasn't even up there. Yeah.
But yeah, he had got that around that time, and man, me and him just blew the water wide open. I mean, we weren't like running out front or anything, but Graveline Bayou was
hitting.
Yeah. You and 400,000 other people.
Yeah. You're not wrong on a weekend.
Yeah. On a weekend.
That's true.
We got his process. Tell us your process, because I know you got to bring all that science, polymer,
get a little bit of chemistry,
yeah.
and go into the weeds with us. I'm serious. Like, I want to learn something here.
Yeah, and I can't give any recipes.
No. Don't give away the state secrets.
We don't want to Colonel Sanders.
Top
secret
is top secret.
But
it's all, to me, making soft baits, it's all about the plastic. It's something that's strong enough to withhold catching flounder, trout, whatever it may be, but it still has good action.
Right.
We wanted to figure that out when I started, because most people just go and grab a plastisol off the shelf that Lure Works or Bait Plastic, whoever makes,
right,
and they just use it and put it out. Here it is. I was like, let's dial in what we want. So we spent months doing that. We've changed it since then. We've switched, our base brand all the way since then and went a better direction. But it's just, it was trial and error. Everything we put out, we fish, right?
Right.
We don't put anything out that I haven't fished, Tim hadn't fished, Landon hadn't fished. Somebody's fished it and caught fish.
Yeah.
So it was just dialing that in before we threw it out there, and said, hey, we're going to make something for folks. We wanted to have it kind of dialed in. Like I said, we've tweaked it since then and changed it. But it all comes down to the plastic, and it's adding additives here, a little bit of this, just figuring out the recipe,
right,
and finding what you find works the best, and then just.
And what does it start with? I think we said on the show before too, but one of the things I looked into very early was pouring plastics. Do you remember that? Like when we were talking about when we first got into merch, I was like, maybe we pour baits. Yeah. So I watched some YouTube videos on that, and if I remember. It's not a machine, is it molds or something where you can kind of or stamp them? It was some kind of like the way to make more than just.
So like ours, we inject ours. There's open pour molds, which are usually single, and you just literally pour it in there. But we inject.
How many would that make?
That would make one. I know.
Okay,
you
got the one that closes.
Yes,
that's what I was looking at.
And we make anywhere from some make 3, some make 4, some make 12, 15.
That's
however much money you want to spend is what.
Right,
it is.
Right.
So we inject them. All of ours are injected, so we don't open pour anything.
Okay. What's the difference other than you're able to make more at volume? Is the quality better?
I would say the quality, to me, the quality on an injection bait is better than an open pour, because when you open pour, you're pouring one color and then it sits, and then you're pouring another, and sometimes they split apart. Like you can peel them off color by color.
It's cured too much before the next one.
Yeah, if you don't do it exactly right, which I don't do that, so I don't know. But from what I've seen, if you don't do it exactly right, you run into an issue with it. You could peel it off color by color, whatever you did.
Okay.
Where do you get your color schemes from? Where does that come from?
Just ideas, man. Landon gives me ideas. Tim gives me ideas. My son, he gives ideas. We just kind of think them up, and like I said, we go and fish them. Landon's giving me an idea that one we had that I was like, I don't know, man, but then it came out great, and it fishes.
All right,
so it's like.
So I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm laughing over here. Jonathan Brantley, I'm assuming you might know this guy.
I may know that.
I may know that guy. He said, so you're telling me your rubbers don't break?
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
And then Wade chimed in and said, yes, his swimmers swim.
There it is.
All right. I love it, guys. I love the innuendo. That's good.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I was chuckling. I couldn't.
But no, we make it up, and it's I guess fishing on the Gulf Coast your whole life, you actually what's going to catch and what's
you
not.
got your staples.
Right. You know what you're going to use dirty water summertime. You know what you're going to use clear water wintertime. So we try to tweak it, and we look at everything. It's really hard. Honestly, the color thing is hard because your imagination kind of just gets dull after a while. So like I find myself, I'll ride up to Academy and just stand there and look at baits, just trying to get an idea, like just looking at everything and just trying to figure something out.
Did I watched a video one time. If the water is murky, low visibility, you go with a duller color. Is that right?
No, that would be
brighter,
like a chartreuse. You would want like a chartreuse.
I could have swore I watched the video that was the exact opposite of what this guy. Maybe he was just wrong, but I do remember that because I'm like, that's extremely counterintuitive to me.
Yeah, like summertime. dirty, murky water, you want chartreuse, fluorescent pink, orange, something like that. From what we know,
Okay,
you could catch it on anything else.
Yeah, and maybe this was freshwater or something on the video or something.
In wintertime, the water's clear. You want more natural, not as bright. It can be flashy like this, but something that's more natural in the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what you just mix this in with your color? You mix it in with the pour?
Yeah. So you heat. So what you do is you heat up the plastisol first.
Are they pellets? How does it start?
No, it's a liquid, but you got to heat it up because it's a liquid that's liquid plastic and it's got a hardener in it and stuff. So it's got to be heated above 350 degrees.
And then that's what starts the
to
curing?
get right. Yeah.
Okay.
To get right. So you heat it up to 350 plus. It doesn't matter. Stay under 400. And then you add in your colorant, you mix it in, then you add in your flake, stuff like that, mix it all up and then you're good. You can shoot and then you can reheat if you need to, then you can keep it going.
Yeah. Sweet. Tell us about your process, because I know it's got a whole lot of bending and all kinds of stuff, right?
It does, but unfortunately, it's not nearly as cool as it's more of just an assembly.
Yeah, but maybe it allows you more free time to actually fish.
Yes, it does.
There you go.
Does.
Well, explain what you hated in corks and then
there you go.
Fixed in this cork.
Well, what I couldn't stand about every other cork out there that you could find is that it was solid wire. Now, I did like BRMs because it was a heavier wire.
Yes, that's one of the things he mentioned.
It was less prone to bend. But like one of my go-tos back in the day was the old Cajun Thunder.
Yeah.
I think they went out of business. I haven't seen them in stores in a while.
Did they have a thick wire that you liked? No. Okay. I was gonna say, because it all comes down to cost. Like when those big companies, they're looking at every single thing they know, and they're like, "Hey, it ain't gonna last as long. I just buy more."
I mean, you got to be honest. You can only sell a cork for so much. You know what I'm saying?
True, but like it depends. I mean, I guess because like a cork, you can lose it super quick, regardless of how well it's built. But some people are willing to pay that premium price for a premium thing.
I ain't never met a dude pay $20 for a cork.
Not yet.
What were we talking about before we went live on the show?
Yeah, you're right.
Certain people will throw thousands of dollars worth of shit out on it and not care about it. Yeah, so you have that.
I retract my statement.
You retract that statement. That average guy.
Average guy.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'd grown up using Cajun Thunder, but the wire was just so thin. So then when BRM started up around here, I started getting his.
Yeah.
And they were better. I did like them a lot more, but they, still every now and then you get a bend in them. And I don't know if it was just me, but it seemed like once you got a bend in them, you could straighten it back out, but it would never act right again. So that kind of got the wheels turning in my head. I said, you know what? Let me kind of go back to the drawing board. Why does it have to be stiff? Why can't it be flexible? You know what I mean? So you can't put a permanent bend in it. So that's when I got some 7-strand stainless wire. That's vinyl coated. You can get it in it's clear coating. You can get it where they got like a brown color. I liked the black just because the black just looks better.
Fish in dirty water too,
right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But starting off, I had them way longer than what they are now, and I was also putting a swivel up on top. Now, something I found with that was with the flexible wire and the swivel up top and them being that long, they'd get tangled up almost every cast. So, went back to the drawing board, started tweaking some stuff, and ended up where I'm at now, where it's this shorter length and no swivel up top. And
not as much of a problem.
Right. I've tried to tangle them up, and I've yet to do it.
Yeah, they don't.
That reminds me of Cody's. We talked about him earlier. He commented earlier, but like a lot of the videos that he makes just about how to spool your reel and keep it under tension. If you don't, it'll inherently start to try to do these weird things that I'm like, damn, I never really investigated that. It makes total sense what you're saying. If that line's constantly spinning, when you reel it up, it's going to be a problem, right? Now, you said you're using a little bit, Joey.
That's it right here.
Yeah, but I was going to say, the what is this? Is it stainless? What is this?
It's 7-strand stainless cable, basically.
Okay.
But it has a vinyl coating, and that's just the black color.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fact that it's stainless would be fine, but I wanted the black coating on there, so it took away from the shine.
Right. My question was going to be, though, is you said you didn't go with it as stiff as what most people do.
Right.
Is there a reason why most people make this more stiff? Do you lose any feel of the fish, of the strike or anything with it being flexible like this? Not at all.
No, you don't. I think where I think where the idea of the solid wire come in was way back in the day when whoever it was first thought it up. I think they thought that a solid wire was better, and everybody that come after that, they were just like, "Oh, well,
okay, this has been established. So this is what we're going to do." Yeah. Have you? So how long have you been fishing with that, using those corks with that style of the more flexible?
Since June of last year.
Okay, and you haven't noticed once you remove that swivel, there's no like cons to it that you can.
Right. There is zero cons that I found to it.
Okay.
I've even taken it, just like I was saying earlier, behind the Beau Rivage on them rocks.
Yeah.
Because that's where, I'd bend them up, lose them.
I got 2 horror stories I'll tell you after this.
All right, you bend them up, losing it.
Mm-hmm. But I threw them up there, trying to get them, hung up, trying to ruin them. I've put them through quite a bit of a torture test, and I've yet to find anything that'll really affect them, their fishability.
We not to cut you, we talked about golfing earlier. Has anybody done like the golf dudes do, where they jump into the pond and retrieve the golf balls? Has anybody got a business out there where they're going and getting these corks off of the rocks?
They'd make $1 million.
Man, it's
as long as you don't get stabbed by the rebar.
It's not a bad
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're willing to risk your life a little bit.
I just post on Facebook when I lose one, like it's free to the whoever finds it.
Whoever gets it,
I lost one
or
at Grantline.
Pelicans eat it.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a little more risky than getting golf balls out of a pond, but yeah.
So you're crimping all these, every one of them,
every single one of them.
So double crimps. Tell us about the stamps on here, or what? This is vinyl. You use vinyl, right?
Yeah. When I started out, I looked into getting a stamp made, but the problem that I found with the stamp is, so you got to take your stamp and an ink pad. Well, if you press it too hard, you'd get it'd go past the raised face of the actual stamp, so then you'd get like a square up of a little,
just blur together,
right? Exactly. Or if you didn't have enough, well, then it'd be real blurry. So thankfully my fiance has a little Cricut vinyl cutter.
Nice.
And so I downloaded the little app, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna throw my little logo on there, we're gonna try this out. And what I liked about it is how it has a nice sharp clean line, you know what I mean? It's not faded, it's the same every time. And it's honestly just really easy to put it on there. You peel it off the little thing, stick it on,
and it stays.
Yeah, I was very surprised at how.
I got a few, but mine were hand delivered. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
Mine were hand delivered.
Speaking of delivery, we had a comment come through here from Ethan and Richard. He says he thinks that Tim is the only one that has boat delivery as an option.
Is that an option?
Is that an option?
So it ended up, it worked out one day.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Well, hey, if you've done it once, at least it means you've done it. You can check that off the box. Yeah.
Hey, I keep baits on us out there on the water. If you see us, flag us down.
I can buy off the boat.
Buy them or I'll give them to you.
That's a salesman right there.
Here's $1 million question. Does the color of the cork have anything to do with it?
Pull it in there tight. Pull it in there tight.
Absolutely not.
No.
It is 100% superstition.
Preference.
That fish is not worried about what the color of the cork is. All it's worried about and all it's focused on is what underneath it.
Okay.
Now
he shouldn't really be seeing the cork, right? I mean, he should be paying attention to it.
Someone will try to hit the cork.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Now some people
even better.
I didn't
That's a slogan on your cork.
Yeah, hit the cork.
Hit the cork.
Hit the cork.
Some bitches.
I didn't even know that it was a thing getting into it. And it wasn't until I got into foul play and started talking with Drew, about, okay, well, what color's selling more? Because I'm trying to, figure out what sells best. Because if I'm making them in this color, but they're not selling, well, then I need to stop getting that color and focus more on other colors or whatever. But something he told me, he was like, yeah, man, so something I found is that the older guys that come in here, they like the classic colors, like the red and the OD green,
the green,
or
the green,
orange top, white bottom.
Yeah,
those are my favorites.
Yeah,
but
that's what Grandpa fished with.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't like them OD greens. They're hard to see.
We use pink. I use nothing but the hot pink ones.
And the hot greens.
The orange.
That's what I go for.
You don't like the old school red and white?
Pink. Well, I like to be able to actually see it,
Yeah.
So I like the pink,
the highlighter colors, the fluorescence, things like that. But I could see there being definitely some superstitions around it. If you fish, you've got some superstitions.
Yeah.
My grandpa would only fish a green cork.
Yes.
If he wouldn't throw another cork.
That green was back in the day. All I remember was the red and white.
It was a slip cork, green bottom with a red up top.
And H&H still makes some people like that. Yeah.
Okay.
He would never fish a popping cork, it was always slip corks, the one where you had to put the little straw in between and you could raise it up.
Yeah.
The
little hook on the top,
red stripe at the top.
Yeah. I don't remember the green though, but yeah, I do.
It was all in green cork. That's all he threw.
That's all he was throwing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe that's why your logo's green.
No, he was just grouchy. He didn't want to change.
No, I said your logo.
Oh yeah.
Look right
it
there.
wasn't this. No, if I threw that right there, he'd be so mad at me.
The color wasn't the same.
No, it was like dark green.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
a dark green.
Oh, like hunter green.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's definitely disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Good. Where are we at with this though? So
You mentioned about the colors not working.
there you go.
Have y'all two ran into that same situation where something wasn't working and we had to change directions and go a different way?
The biggest thing is type of paint on the sheephead jig heads. You know,
Right.
this is something I don't know if I've ever even talked about on my Facebook page, but I went through a lot of trial and error with paint on the sheephead jig heads, because if you've got sheephead, you've seen their mouths and what they look like, and you know, eventually they're going to take off anything, you know, really and truly.
Yeah.
But I did go through some trial and error to figure out what kind of paint is best for that, and so one of them, the most popular sheephead jig head color ever, is Fiddler. Everybody wants a Fiddler crab sheephead jig head. And so I had to go through some trial and error to find a paint that isn't going to chip off. It will come off eventually, but it doesn't chip off like a normal powder coat will. So that was one of those aspects. I guess.
You're beating it up against a pier, barnacles, bridges all day long.
His mouth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Human teeth.
Yeah. That's a weird.
What about you? Anything like that? Are y'all
Yeah.
still in
Well, I mean, we've had things we've tossed. You know, we've had baits we've tossed. We get molds that don't shoot right. You know, and you just can't get them to. You know, because like Tim was talking about on his lead molds, some shoot you got to shoot them hotter, slower, faster. It's the same with plastics. You know, you'll get one and you got to shoot it hot and fast. The next one you got to shoot cooler and slower. You know, or cooler and fast. And it's, you know, you toss them, and we hadn't really found a lot of stuff that doesn't work. We changed a lot. You know, we started out with your regular hex cut glitter, you know, in different sizes. Now we've found a guy that custom makes our flakes, so it's random cut, as you can see in that. Like, it's not a hex, it's like flake. You know, it's random cut
sizes,
in different size. You know, which is to us looks better. But yeah, I mean, it definitely is all a learning process. You got to see what works, what doesn't, throw out what doesn't, and move on.
There you go. I got a more like a business side question.
That's where I was going next.
We've been in sync though lately.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good shit. I like the guy.
I was gonna say, what was the hardest learning curve from the business standpoint? Like, what was the hardest part of getting your business actually up and running besides making these and getting them out there?
Okay.
Man,
where do I start?
Yeah.
just starting from ground zero, and I mean, really and truly, just trying to figure out what type of products you need to put together to make your end product.
Right.
And I knew, like I said before, I knew that if I wanted to do this in today's day and age, I mean, sure, you probably could make something happen without going the social media route, but I knew that that's probably my best route.
Right,
so
right.
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
Well, I've never done anything like that before. Sure, I've had a Facebook since 2009. You know,
Was you making fishing content?
no,
Not at all.
no.
I know you was fishing. You just wasn't putting it
I would
out there.
take pictures of, you know, me or whatever, but no, not like this. I never made a video or anything like that. And so that may have been my biggest hurdle, just trying to figure out how to do that. But I've talked to this in the past on my channel. You know, me and my kids, we tournament fish. And I can't give everything away. You know, if you're a charter captain, you know, you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I can't film every single thing that I do. I really, you just can't. And so I've got to figure out how I can showcase my product in a way without giving too much away, because I still need to be able to keep a little bit on the back burner for me and my kids to be able to tournament fish.
Do you mean give away like where you're fishing? Is that what you're saying?
Whether it's baits. Absolutely. And as far as baits, if you watch my channel, you see what I fish with. You know, I do fish with some live bait. I do fish with Skinny Water Innovations. I do fish with other brands as well. But it's not as, I don't want to give away too much.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to teach people as much as I can, because there's a lot of people that have reached out to me afterwards and been like, hey man, I really appreciate this. And I fish a lot in graveline. Everybody that watches my channel knows that. I've never held anything back from graveline. You've seen on my channel, I caught about a 6.5 pound trout in graveline last year. Yeah. It was on there. It was on Facebook for everybody to see. So it's not, I'll show you whatever you want to know about Gravelines Bayou. But there's
the honey hole, you ain't.
And it took me a really long time to figure some of this stuff out.
That's right.
And another aspect to this as well, I feel like some people might not be as responsible with as far as like creating content on social media as anything that people have taught me over the years. I'm not going to give that away. It took them a long time to be able to figure that out. The last thing I'm about to do is get on the internet and be like, hey, look at what so-and-so showed me here, there. So, and this journey, I guess you could say, has been really good for me because it's forced me to learn different things, because I can go like, okay, I'll film here today because I've never even fished here before.
Right.
It works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Right. And so that's helped me out a lot too.
Yeah.
Real quick, Joe. Captain Derek Palmer said, "Fish in one spot and pictures at another spot."
That's right.
Well, you brought up your social media, and you do a thing that's like every week where you bring up some kind of fishing topic, right? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So every Sunday, I post every single day, just because I was not as consistent in the beginning, and my growth was not very consistent in the beginning. And so I got some advice. Cody Taylor, he's commented on there.
Cody's a man.
He is.
Content.
Yeah,
I got some advice from Cody, and he was basically like, hey, man, if you want this thing to grow, you need to post. And you need to post a lot. And at first I was like, man, there's no way that I can do that. There's no way I can post every single day. Like, it just, there is a way I can make it happen. Yeah. You can schedule posts. You can, you can make it happen. Yeah. But yeah, I got that advice from him. And so that helped out a ton. Yeah.
Okay. I will go back to what you said a minute ago about people taught you stuff or told you stuff that you don't want to give away.
Yeah.
Without giving that away, did you mean more like technical of like how to fish, or did you mean spots, or like, again, don't give it away.
Any
but
aspect of it. Yeah. I mean, these people have confided in me over the years that, this is how you do this, or this is how you do that, whether it's the spot or the technique or whichever. And so the last thing that I'm going to do is go online and I'm not the kind of person.
We've seen that before. There's been instances of people, getting heat and for whatever different reasons or whatever. But yeah, I respect that.
Yeah. Well, before we jump over, let's talk about your merch, because you got some merch, right?
I do. I've been trying to get more consistent with that. We have a little bit on our website. I'm about to drop some new merch.
Hold on, I'm trying to play. Right there we go. There we go. I got it. Yeah.
I've had some requests for some.
Yep. There you go.
So I've got hats. I've got 4 different kinds of hats on my website. I've got one dry fit shirt that we started doing last year, but
there it went.
We've got a few other
their faces out. Or
we've got a few others coming. One thing is I've got a lot of friends or people who golf, and so I've kind of put like
rich friends.
I've put together a little T3 golf collaboration, but it's got the fishing touch in there too. So it's coming. It's coming very soon. I'm waiting on one more thing to get here that was supposed to be here already, but yeah, I mean, I've been trying to do merch drops. I've been trying to, and my wife helps me out a ton with that. So huge shout out to me out a ton. She helps me out with designs, or hey, you should do this, or I give her an idea and she just tells me like, hey, don't do that.
Do not do that. Terrible. Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
You were at Peter Anderson as well this year, right?
That's right.
How'd that go for you?
It went really, really well. I was surprised. Everything is, I guess, surprised me up to this point, but I was very surprised at how well it went. And I, made a couple posts. Hey, we're going to be here at this spot or whichever. And we had a ton of people come find us.
We sent a bunch of people your way, or a few people your way.
We had a couple people like, hey, we've been looking for you. We couldn't find you. And the first day, if you've never done anything like that before, you don't just know how to do it, right?
Right.
And so
you might be talking to some people that know about that.
Yeah. Once a bunch of times we screwed it up.
And so the first day I had people saying like, hey, I couldn't find you. I couldn't see you. And so we were leaving, and there again, my wife, she said, hey, let's go to a craft store or something and just make a huge T3 sign and put it up top. Yeah. And the next day was a great success because people could actually walk past down that aisle and be like, there they are.
She's a genius.
So
that was like when we got the tent with the flags. You know what I mean? I was like,
game changer.
First year, was it the first year at Peter Anderson?
We just had like the white and blue. Everybody's like, who is this?
Right. And they still
donate that was us.
Well,
and now we got 8-foot flags all over the place.
Like they ain't gonna walk by and at least not know. Have seen the logo and the name. They might not know who we are. They may not know what we do, but
But
they
they
don't
gonna
see
see
the
it.
shit.
I hate those guys.
Yeah.
They're not seeing the flag. Yeah.
Well, one thing that I
Don't
thought,
know where not to walk.
Yeah.
one thing that I thought was kind of silly whenever I looked it up before that fest, that was the first time we've ever done anything like that. And I was like, I've seen those tents, that have the people's logos on the
Yeah.
top
They ain't
and on the
cheap.
side. Well,
There you go.
I started looking at it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I started looking at how much they cost. I'm like, man, it can't be
No
worth
way.
that much.
Yeah.
But then after that first day, I'm like, man,
And see,
It is worth it.
Probably should've got one of
in my
those.
opinion, that what you just said is kind of like an unlock because it's like an abstract idea. It's like, well, this is a tent. It tents.
yes, yeah.
But that is a more expensive tent.
Way
I'm
more
going to go with
expensive.
this tent. But
Yeah.
then as you do the shit, you start realizing like, there's a reason why people do this. There's
Everything
a reason
needs to
why
have your name on it.
Coca-Cola runs commercials
Yeah.
during the Super Bowl. People got to see it. People got to see your name.
Exactly,
They got to
everything,
know. You have to spend. It sucks.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't like it.
Yeah, so
But you
this
have
year
to.
I'm probably going to buy one of those.
Buy once, cry once.
Yeah.
That's how they do
I
it.
can send you to the people who we use that I've been very happy
Yeah.
with. We bought multiple things from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is weird. You brought something up though that I thought about earlier, but I was like, I don't want to ask you. But like you mentioned doing the golf thing. So you're going to do like a T3 tackle.
Just some
Explain
merch.
that a little bit more.
Yeah,
for me.
just merch. Don't get excited. It's not like a
Polos or
fishing
something.
lure, the golf, but no, it's a t-shirt and a hat, really.
But it's got your logo on it, obviously. But it's
Mhm.
like, is it? You're selling it to golfers.
Yeah, because like I said, I've had a few people that I know golf, and one of them actually hit me up like, "Hey, I'd like something like this," and it kind of. I kind of started speedballing off of it. Like, what else? What can I do in that space for people? You could almost like showcase that you like both of those things at one
Yeah.
time.
That's what I was getting at, and that's what I thought about earlier, especially with you because you pour baits and you control colors and you control what's the sparkle confetti? What's
Flake.
it called?
Flake or
I'm sorry, I
yeah,
have the
whatever
right
you
term.
wanna call
All
it.
right, and that's what I started thinking about. It's like when you market a lure, obviously you're trying to make that soft plastic. You want the fish to bite it, but the human has to buy it first, right? So do you market to the human a little bit, but to get to the fish, or like what you're doing? Do you ever make like a Mardi Gras bait or a St. Patty's Day bait?
Yeah.
Maybe the fish don't bite it as much. I don't know, but people will buy it.
People
Same
wear
thing.
those earrings.
Yeah, or, I mean, like for like your corks, you can make a 4th of July themed cork
Yeah.
that people might pick up.
I actually
You put American flag on it.
right.
I'm buying it.
I had actually
Hulk Hogan mustache.
This dude's a genius, dude. Yeah, he's a genius.
Hey, edit that out.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
actually,
live. I'll edit it out. No worries.
I had actually gotten too busy. I was supposed to make up a bunch for a Mardi Gras float for the D'Iberville parade.
Oh, that'd been killer.
And, but yeah,
It's hard to throw $8 corks off the side
Yes,
of a
it
Mardi
is.
Gras
No,
float.
and you do like any bait company, they're fishing for fishermen. That you see these bait drops they do, and it'll be like a Simpsons bait drop or this bait drop or
Right.
whatever, Halloween, whatever. They're catching fishermen. They're just selling to the fishermen, and we not that we don't do that, but like I said, we fish everything that we make
Okay.
to make sure it.
You wouldn't be into any kind of shtick like that.
I don't. We have had baits that, like, I posted one that we had made before, but it lined up with Mardi Gras, like it matched it. So
That's what I'm saying. So I think there's
posted
some
it,
overlap there.
There is.
Is also what I'm getting.
Yeah,
At.
there is. So like we try to come up with stuff like that, but like say we were going to go make a St. Patty's Day bait this weekend.
You're already using.
I'm going to go make it and I'm going to go fish it and see if it catches. And if
Okay.
it catches, you
Yeah.
know,
Well, I like that about your company, right? Like you're not going to do
I
any
try not to
gimmicky
put
shit that don't
anything.
work.
Exactly. I try not to put anything out there that we haven't fished and that it's not going to catch. Just some, BS that's
Right.
It's
right.
pretty color.
Right.
you know.
Right.
And so, like you had asked earlier about, like, yes, every Sunday I do put out a Real Talk Sunday, and I try to bring up something that's not super controversial, something maybe that I take for granted that I've learned over the years that maybe the average person, I don't want to say average person, maybe,
No. That's
maybe that the person who is just now getting into the sport, or somebody who
Right.
just hasn't been here that long, or something like that. I try to put a little bit of just general knowledge out there, right? And so one thing that I have talked about in the past on that is there are lures that catch fish and there are lures that catch fishermen, and
Yes.
it really, and I've tried to completely stay away from that. I just, like I've said before, like to use hooks that are strong and sharp. I like to use paint and in this aspect that's going to be stronger than this. I really do try to, even down to my packaging. There have been people over the years with bait manufacturers that have put baits out there in the patch. I didn't bring any to show you, but essentially it is a very thick Ziploc bag. It's small, right? So it'll fit
Right.
on a rack.
Mhm.
But no staples, no paper on the outside. And the reason I like that is because I've bought those over the year. And say if I go out to Horn Island and I want to jump out the boat and go wade fishing real quick, well, I can throw a bag of jig heads in my pocket that are in that bag that doesn't have any holes in it, and then I can get back on the boat and put them back in my tackle box or whatever. That's just one aspect. But things like that, I try to really be deliberate in what I do in all aspects of it.
That's cool.
But also on the side of like what catches fish and what catches fishermen, you also have to listen to your local audience as well. You're catering to them, and so you've got to figure out.
Tatum fishes too. I know his mom and his dad, and he's in all of our tournaments. So he just shouted you out. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Tatum.
Yeah.
But the
100% quality, he said.
As far as you have to be able to look at what your local demographic wants, as far as like there's one thing, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I do have one thing coming out in the next hopefully month and a half that I've had a lot of people ask me for, like, hey, why don't you make these? Why don't you make this jig head? And so once that gets closer, I'll make a post and put that out there. But you also have to listen to the locals and figure out what they want and start to cater to that as well.
The only other thing I can say on that topic before we move to the next one would be like, whether you like, if you don't want to get too gimmicky with the product because you don't want it to mess up the name. Like the destroyer, the genocide, you know what I mean? Like that kind of gimmicky shit, just to get people to kind of take a look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Before we move on, tell us about the name.
T3?
Yeah.
So my name is Tim. My oldest son's name is TJ, and my youngest son's name is Truett. So T3.
There you go.
T3 Tackle.
Yep.
All right. What about your merch and your social media? Tell us about that game.
Well, we are new to merch. We're just putting this out there.
I see it though.
Yeah, it looks good.
No, I've been making it.
shirt.
I've been making it from the start for myself, but I got nailed down with somebody that'll make it for us and get it all out there. We're going to get it out there. Our biggest hurdle has been the social media. We're not, I know that's the biggest way to go, but I'm like, man, we're not content creators. I'm a bait company, but you almost have to be.
Yeah,
no. Take the almost out of that statement.
You have to be.
And that's the end of it. And it sucks. I don't like
be.
to say that, but that's how
we're
it is.
and we're working towards getting there, but we're not there yet. I need to carve out a lot more time to get there. Or I just need to figure it out. I'm gonna have to ask Tim a lot of questions.
I don't know what I'm doing either.
Right.
He knows that.
He'll tell you every answer except his fishing spot.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
We can go. We're going to your boat.
But or just go film every trip and then edit it, whatnot. I know I need to get into that because that's what puts it out there, and that's big.
Right.
That's been our biggest hurdle. I mean, we're making a good product, people love it, but we're not huge on social media. We got 1,200 something followers, whatnot, but we post new stuff we make, merch, whatever, but we don't post a lot of content videos, and we need to.
I'll tell you something, and we're not experts, and we there's a lot of things that I know that we don't do right, and I know we don't do it right. We need to do more of it. But I will say this: when it comes to like filming a fishing video, that's a little bit labor intensive sometimes, depending on how you do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it takes away from the fishing, so it's a little less fun, depending.
Right, and that's what I try to do.
Shit.
Like my number one goal with all of this is not to take away from what I love to do.
Correct.
What I love to do is fish.
Correct.
And
but you've done it before. Okay, you've obviously fished without creating content, and you've done it with it. Doesn't it? It removes you just a little bit from what you're doing because you're having to think about the camera. Right?
The only time that I really get to that, not really to that point. The only time that I really think about it in that way is whenever I know that I've had people asking me, hey, how do you do this? And so then I have to like remind myself to, while I'm out there, to do this. But everything else that I do, I try to make it as real as possible.
Right. But I guess what I'm getting at more is, and I don't know how you film your content. Do you just put a GoPro on your center console and let it rip?
GoPro chest mount.
Okay.
And that's really, I do some stuff with my phone. I do have a gimbal, but it's few and far between. I did a few episodes where I kind of did a before and after trip report, just really, and it's just throwing stuff at the wall, right? It's just throwing stuff out there to figure out.
I was going there.
What exactly people want to see, because I know in some instances people want to see a person in front of the camera talking. And so, I've got over the cringe, I guess you could say.
It's natural.
I was going to say,
unless you're like a super narcissistic egomaniac, it's normal to be like,
he said it best. I was going to say that a million times. get over the cringe, just post it. Like,
Yeah.
don't,
Oh yeah,
just
I don't
get
like the way
over
I
it.
looked. I don't like the way
You
I
know,
sound.
yeah.
Why'd I say it like that? Let me redo. I've done that. Let me redo it. Now you're down a rabbit hole and you'll never put it
The
out.
videos of me in front of the camera don't do well, and so I've learned that
Okay.
people don't want to see that.
Okay.
Not with
So
that
we're-
sweet
we're
stash.
going to that. I even did that. It didn't work.
I'll try anything. But no, going back to what you said. So like GoPro on the chest, that's a little bit easier in sense of you can still do your thing or whatever. But what I was going to go back to like with you is like, you got a cell phone and just talking about what you do, like the thing that you think is kind of like the given that you like everybody knows is like porn baits and stuff.
Yeah.
Just show that shit.
Yeah.
People will watch. I will watch that.
And we've recently bought the stuff to make that content, the light stand, stuff like that, to show because I find myself, I make baits all the time, but I find myself, I'll be on Facebook scrolling other bait makers.
Watching them make
I'm
baits.
deep. It's 2:00 in the morning and I'm watching them just mix
and you can't
colors.
turn it off. Yeah.
I got the same thing going on this shit, and I'm not doing it right now.
Yeah.
That's right. And it really is as simple because like don't overcomplicate it, because if it's too complicated, you won't do it. Right.
Exactly.
So like cell phone on a tripod or cell phone lean up against this or however you got to do it, and maybe a little tiny microphone we've got some, they're $50.
Yeah.
$50, right? Or even cheaper, really.
Mix it up, shoot it, and show the final product.
That's it, dude.
Yeah.
And people will eat it up. Film it like this, not like this, and put it through reels. You'll be golden, man. What about you? Have you experienced that?
I've as
You
far
putting
as
content out? Is what I meant?
I've looked at getting into it. The biggest thing for me is getting over the cringe of setting up a camera and
looking at yourself.
Right.
That means you're a normal human being.
Yeah.
If you didn't do that, you're either like the top level, like Michael Jackson level of content, you're going to blow up, or you're just a weird person. One or the other.
The biggest thing that I have an issue with is hearing my own voice.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Recording
I get it.
or anything. Like I listen to y'all's podcast all the time at work. I throw AirPod in.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely. I'll just listen to it throughout the day. It's not really that sometimes I'm, tuned in listening to it, like the
sometimes the background noise.
Right. The episodes y'all do with the DMR.
We appreciate the download.
Yeah.
Listen or not, pay attention or not, we appreciate the download.
But like the other day, the first time I was on here with Brian Butler with the aquaculture, that one had come on the other day, and it got to the point where I started talking. I was like, "Oh no, I can't listen."
How did that come up? Did you choose that, or did some kind of algorithm throw that to you? How did that happen?
I'm not sure. I think on the podcast app.
Is that what do you use? Apple?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. It's our biggest.
I think I was in the ones I've already played.
Okay.
So it was just going through.
Okay.
And that one had come up and it got to me. I was like, oh, no, I can't listen.
See, I had the benefit of having done music before, so I'd already heard my voice 1,000 times. And it is. The first time you hear it, you're like, oh, my God, that's what I sound like. Now I just don't give a shit. I'm like, I say stupid things sometimes. I get words wrong. I sound like that. Who cares?
Well, I'll tell you the story about when we interviewed our wives the first time. And they don't shut up. Like, they talk 24/7.
He said that. He said that, not me. I didn't say that.
One was there, and and it came on. Crickets.
Yes. Because of the cameras and the
And
that's
literally
slightly
because-
intimidating.
Yeah.
I get it.
No
She's like-
lights, camera.
They're like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just like talking
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah,
Like,
talk here.
Yeah,
Talk
tell me
here.
to go sleep on the couch. Take the trash out. You know what I'm saying?
It's like we're talking to our wives and we're like, who are these girls?
Yeah,
what are they
it's
doing?
weird. Turn into something
They were
else.
worried. They were worried about those.
Well, they're just kind of like deer in the headlight. They're like, it's like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't talk like that. You don't talk like that. Yeah. It's funny. But yeah. So have you gotten over that at all?
No, I still haven't.
He's like, no, not at all. No.
I really need to. I not that like I want to like follow in Tim's footsteps or anything, but
You don't want to do that.
Hey, straight off the bat.
but I see how well.
No, he's put a good
it's-
path out.
Yeah.
He's putting good content out.
Right. And I find myself all the time. Facebook Reels or TikTok late at night, come across Tim's video. I'm not skipping it. I'm watching.
Right.
I watch
Right.
every one, even if I've seen
Right.
it. I just
I
watch
appreciate
it.
y'all. I don't think they're that good, but I appreciate
They
it.
are.
Well, again, to
The
me,
before and after trips is. I think you need to keep with that. I like it.
I appreciate that.
there you go. And that's what it is. It's a.
Yeah.
I don't mean this in a bad way. It's a shtick. Like you find your thing before and after, catch clean or whatever.
Yeah.
There are these things that resonate with people, and it's usually when you try. And I'm talking to myself, don't overcomplicate it. Just make the thing. And that's what people are like. They like that. Like you said, you pour baits and you watch people pour baits
all day long.
Like, you know what I mean? I'll sit there and watch somebody do some shit on guitar and I'm just like, oh yeah, I love it because I'm into that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to watch it. So same with you. Just if you don't like the way you look, sound, feel, whatever on any of that shit, don't watch your shit. Record it, post it, and get rid of it. Yeah. Watch the analytics because you need to know what's working and what ain't.
Right,
but don't have to listen to it.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
What about your merch game?
As far as right now, the only Chenevert tackle merch I'm wearing right now.
Okay.
So that's one of one. That makes it worth more money.
My fiance has really been on me, but she was like, look, you know, you need to get into the hats, especially t-shirts. And I've had, you know, family, friends, outside people too that, you know, I've never met in my life. Don't know from Adam asked me about it. But
I've told him I want a popping cork shirt.
Yeah,
I don't have a popping cork. I got a lot of shirts. I don't have a popping cork.
That is a badass idea.
It's funny he says that because I've got something cooking up right now that is along those lines.
Okay.
That
and with AI now, I mean, I don't know if you guys are using it, and it's a thing. You can type it in. I want it to look like this, and here's my already logo. You can put that, and it'll take that logo, put it in the thing, and you're not illegal. You can use it commercially.
Right. Chat GPT is actually how I made the little C with the hook. On
that
the
right
top
there,
and the red fish tail. I actually drew it out first.
Okay.
I'm not sure if y'all found this, but to get anything out of Chat GPT, you have to get very specific.
It takes a very long time.
No, well, the prompt. That's what they say. The more think about it, it's a robot. It just it's not really a robot.
And once you get
it doesn't like ambiguity
because
it'll just assume things.
Right.
Once you get it close and want them to change something, they ruin it.
That's correct. Okay, I'll give you a little tidbit. What I've learned just
I
from
want a sandwich. This is a cucumber. What the hell?
If it gets it close and you want it to redo it, sometimes I'll take the close and throw it into another chat. And then redo it because that chat's already like doing this whole thing. So pull it out of that and say, hey,
The coolest shirt I've ever had was from my grandpa, and it was the shirt was white and everything was just outlined in black. And the only color on the shirt was a dude wade fishing and the popping cork was lit up.
That's cool.
That is legit.
I was like, that is the coolest shirt I've ever
brand or something.
It was one of Chandelier boats. Had it.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But like brand specific though. That's what I'm saying. I think that type of merch would do great. Honestly. And if you get into the game of merch, we've learned a little bit. Like, don't buy a lot up front, right? Like, keep it scarce. That was one thing.
Very scarce.
We don't want to run out. It's like, actually, run out a little bit at first. Run out a little bit.
Now we got 100 shirts in the garage.
That's right. That's right.
What I planned on doing as far as getting into the merch game was like all the friends and family that have asked me for stuff. I plan on, making that and making a post about it. So then I find out, how much interest is there actually.
That's right.
I mean?
Pre-orders.
That too.
Exactly,
But I was going to say that, and you already said it. I was going to say that's why you also have to have the content coming out, regardless of how you're doing it. Because if you just make whatever you make, and it's a super cool shirt, and you make one Facebook post, and either you do like you were just talking about before we went live, if it's just text, just words, or you put a photo on it, but you don't put content out regularly, it's going to get buried in the algorithm. Only maybe your mom's going to see it, right? Like it's just not. It's not going to work. But if you're constantly
like one of them shirts,
I love my baby. I'm gonna buy it. But if you're constantly putting stuff out, you have a better chance of that people seeing it.
And one thing that I've learned from the social media thing is stories. Is in Facebook your stories.
100%.
You gotta use it.
That gets more traction than anything else.
If you get on there right now, there's probably 20 of them.
There is,
because I get a ton of sales off of my stories.
Yes.
You have your frequent flyers, I guess you could say, your people that are always watching your stories. And then obviously as they watch it, your views will go up on that. And so I've sold a bunch of merch off of my stories because I don't want to make a post every single day. Hey, buy my stuff. Really that's the goal of my whole entire social media is not every single day, hey, buy this. My goal is to put out content that keeps people coming back, and then I can post my website, or I can do this every once in a while and get people there.
Yep. You nailed it, dude. You got it. I mean, that's the kicker.
No, he's figured it out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because going back to like the music thing, like bands will always post like, come to my show, buy our CD back in the day.
Post you play it.
Right. That, well, even yes, but also give me an instructional video on how to tune a guitar. How do you clean your guitar? What kind of amp do you use? If you start doing that shit, then I'm listening because you're not selling me something.
You're showing
me something. You're giving me information, and then I'm going to want to buy your stuff. And that's what you've already figured that out. So you're light years ahead of the game.
I like how you said buy my CD.
I did. I looked at you. I looked at you.
Anybody knows what
A
that
lot of
means?
people don't understand that.
How old is he?
What? Yeah.
42 as we record.
Buy
Kiss
my
my ass.
CD.
Might as well walk around
Yes.
with vinyl.
Yeah,
It's coming back.
It is coming
Yeah.
back. It
Those
is
are the
coming
big
back.
things.
Yeah.
Is that a UFO? What does that mean?
Yeah. CD
Yeah.
lamp. Yeah.
I had two more questions before we start to wrap.
Well,
this up.
we got to get into the triple threat. Let's talk about this.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me ask this first because it'll go into that.
Okay.
So where are y'all at right now as far as production? Is this still in the garage, at home level of production? That's question number one.
This is in the shop. Yeah, I mean, this is anything that involves the initial production of the product is me. And
Okay.
And after that, I do have help from my family on the. I mean, I guess you could say the non dangerous parts
Right,
of that,
okay.
right? So as far as like packaging or every single, you buy a pack of T3 tackle, and on our card that's inside the package, there are lines that are drawn underneath the weight and the size of the hook. Every single one of those, either me or my son, and I pay them. It's legit.
Child labor is the best labor. Child labor is
that's
the
tax
best labor.
deductible too. I hope you know that. Okay, yeah.
So I pay them.
place
It's
to sleep.
legit. So
Yeah.
one of us drew that line on there.
Okay.
A printer didn't do that. That was one of us.
Not to interrupt you, but that content, you saying that right there on a video reel,
Yeah. That's
Boom.
perfect. Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
It'll go.
Yes.
What about you? Still in the garage?
We're still in the shop doing it. We've recently got a new machine. It's called a Shooting Star, and it will make our production, 10, 20 times faster.
I asked this question because I love that y'all are still doing it at that level.
Oh, yeah, we're
this
still-
is a boutique, and I mean
Yeah.
that in a good way. Operation.
It's a dude-
local.
Yeah.
A what?
A dude teak.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, music again. When you call it an amp boutique, that means that it's like handmade.
Yeah.
It's the shit. Like it's
Yeah.
not mass produced. But yeah, boutique. I like
Yeah,
that. I like that.
it's still there, and we've got a machine that's going to make it much more big time. But we'll still be, we're not in
Heavily
some
involved.
warehouse
Yeah.
somewhere,
yeah.
This is me making it. My son helps. We package. We put stickers on packs. It's still at the
Family
house.
operation.
Yeah.
What about you?
You as well?
Yeah. Well, when I first started, I started making them in the living room.
Got
Then-
kicked out?
Yeah. My fiance said, "Hey, look, you got to get this.
You got to get your shit out of the way.
stuff
Yeah.
out of the living
We
room.
can't even
Try
have
to
the
look-
family over on Sunday because you got corks everywhere.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. So then she booted me to the shed.
Okay.
So I
That's
was
fair.
Out, I was out.
That's
yeah,
fair.
Right, it
That's
is.
fair.
So it was out there for a couple months. Then wintertime come about, and I was like, "Hey,
It's cold, baby.
It's cold out there. A space heater don't. It don't keep up."
That's what I was
What-
gonna say. She's got. You can get one in from Academy. One of the standing tall ones out there, and you can shut your ass up.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, let me come back inside. Try and
Just for a little bit.
right
Try it
just
out.
for a little bit."
Yeah.
I love you. Please
Till
let
it
me back
warms
in.
back up. Till it warms.
Yeah.
So the past couple months I've been back in the house, but it probably won't be too long. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Talking about building corksers relationship.
Ah.
I'm back in the house.
As
I
well
made
as-
my way back in the house.
As well as they both know, even if we're in the shop, garage, shed, my whole kitchen counter in the house is
It's just
tore up
toilets and stuff like that. It pours into the
All
house.
right,
as
kids,
well.
here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you got your
Yeah.
bags ready to
Yeah.
pack. Yeah.
Don't eat that. That's
Yeah.
that's all plastic. That ain't it ain't a gummy worm. Yeah, don't eat that. Yeah. All right, no. I'll do the last one at the end. Let's go into that one.
All right, let's talk about this joint of the local tackle shop guys, and tell us a little bit about this product.
So I think it was Landon's idea, and it just whenever he brought it up to us, it just made sense. It was I do remember it was his idea because it was after the Peter Anderson Festival, because I remember even talking to them
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult, Joey.
and saying
That's close. That's close.
I was looking. I had in our booth, we had all three of these products that were staring me right in the face.
Yes.
Like I had the corks, I had the soft plastics, I had my jig heads, and Landon was like, "Hey, what do y'all think about doing this?" I'm like, How did I not think about that? But Landon brought it up, and he was like, "Hey, we'll come up with something, whether it be a color scheme or the packaging, and it made too much sense, right?
Okay.
We have all the things.
You guys know what it is, but for the people listening, explain exactly what that is. Yeah.
It's it's just a ready to fish rig. It's got Landon's popping cork. It's got a leader on it. How long are the leaders?
It
It depends.
about 24
roughly,
to 28 inches.
A leader on it. Then it's got Tim's 1/8-ounce slot machine jig head, and then a 3-inch skinny water innovation shrimp. And they come in all colors, and you'll have a different color cork, jig head, and shrimp on any one you get. Landon matches them up the best. He can. He likes to match the colors up, but there is different colors. It's not all just solid. And that's how it worked out. It was Landon's idea. Of course, me and Tim had been trading our stuff back and forth, and I met Landon he came up to my booth at Peter Anderson, and I was able to meet him. And I was like, dude, I'm already fishing your popping corks,
Yeah.
Which that was another thing. I was like, whoa, this is the first person I've heard that I've never met.
I knew who he was. That's what we were talking about earlier. Like, it's like, holy shit.
I was blown away.
Yeah, like I knew who he was already when he walked up. And
y'all were instant best buds.
Yeah.
What is it, stepbrothers? Best friends?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure the next day.
It was the next day you text us and we're like, hey, would you all be into collaborating, like, something like this?
Are y'all in a group chat?
Yeah.
Okay. That's just say if y'all ain't something's bad wrong.
We're normally just about every day we're in there
saying some shit
about something.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Okay.
But whether it be
we bounce off. Yeah.
Whether it be business ideas or anything along those lines, or it's just banter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good word. I like that. I love that. Way to go. This guy's smart. Y'all keep him around. Okay? No, but I love that because, again, I've mentioned it a few times, like the music thing and the music scene, like bands promoting each other. This is what y'all are doing, and I love that. We do it like people, Joey, Jordan Duran, the Jordan Duran podcast, the other big podcast is here on the Gulf Coast. People would come to, hey man, what about that Jordan dude? Or they would do it to him. This Brown Water Banter dudes were talking shit about you the other day, and they didn't. A lot of people didn't know. Like, dude, we grew up together.
Buddies.
We're all friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Same
we talk.
Yeah.
Like, we give each other tactical advice. Like, if I know something or whatever, I'm calling him. He's calling me. Like, we're all good. So I love that. Like,
well, it goes back to what you said earlier about the pie.
It's biggest for everybody.
Yeah,
it is.
I've never done anything that's like, hey, buy my stuff because it's better than this. Never. And you're not going to see me do that. Like, that's not. If somebody comments on something and says along the lines of what you just mentioned about them, that's not. It didn't come from me. I can assure you.
That's right. Well, we laugh about it. And we'll go call that person. Sometimes people that know us, like, hey, that dude. I was like, bro, we know him. We're friends with him. It's good. I appreciate you sticking up for me.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, but go tell him though.
Yeah, but and also telling me something. Because we're shitty like that.
And we are. We're all about it's big enough for everybody. We're in contact with a lot of local bait makers. Randall and a few other guys. Like they're other people that make soft baits or tackle, whatever. But it's we all help each other. We all bounce ideas or talk to each other. I mean, it is what it is. Nobody's threatening anybody's business.
Right.
I've got a small following on Facebook, and I share things of Bird of Prey. I share things. I share things of other people that do exactly what I do.
Birds of Prey are good.
Not exactly what I do. Things that are very similar to what I do. And I'm just not like that. I'm not that kind of person. I'm gonna.
It gives you authenticity.
Exactly.
Right. And in the moment you trade that for a profit or whatever, like you just sucks, and that's for real. If I watch somebody talk about something and they're like, hey, I make this thing, this guy makes this thing, and I like this thing is also good too. I like mine for this, or mine's better for that, but this is also good too. Then I'm like, he's not lying to me. Like he's giving me the straight shot.
And that's a good thing about Tim. He's not married to us. He's not married to me.
Right.
He'll post everybody's baits, and he'll, I know he fishes mine. He doesn't have to post them every day. We're not in
that's correct.
You're
not going to see him post something else and be like, hey man.
I don't text him and say, hey, did we break up?
I see you throwing a dog. What's the deal?
Unless it's funny, then I would text him with the AI thing of me like all pissed off like at the bar. You know what I mean? That's what I would do.
Slap
But I think that's great that he does that because, like we said, the pie literally is big enough for everybody. That there is no reason for there to be any kind of animosity between people as far as this game goes. Because at the end of the day, whoever likes what you make, they're going to buy it. They're going to buy it. Well, whoever likes what this other person makes, they're going to keep buying.
And I don't think any of us that do this, this is none of our, we're not going to get into all that, but this is none of our full-time jobs.
Right.
None of us this is our job.
A really cool hobby.
Yeah, we enjoy it, and we make a little extra that may cover our fishing costs.
I
or
love
something
that,
on this,
man.
but it's not our jobs. We're not trying to put everybody out of business because we need the business.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. You're not desperate. Bro.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like what you talked about earlier, or just a minute ago, about getting those, I guess you could say, getting those sales. But for me at least, whenever I've had people that are repeat customers, people that are multi-repeat customers, and even whenever there are charter captains that are multi-repeat customers that come back to me and buy my tackle, I know that it's working. I know that it's good, and so that makes me feel good that I'm putting a good product out there. Not that I didn't think that I was.
No, it's affirmation.
Exactly. And so it's really cool to see that as well.
I feel like it was the right word. It sounded like it was the right word.
Absolutely.
Where can we find the triple threats?
Well, let me piggyback on that just real quick, because that was the last question I was going to say.
Right.
And Joey, you said it, but like, where are y'all selling? We talked about this is not full-time jobs. This is we have the learning curve.
I was literally about to ask where you find this, and
Yeah.
where can you find yours? Where can you find yours? But go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead. Be a starter show.
When we're that in sync, bro, that's just how it is.
Start
You know what I'm
show,
saying?
man.
We're like a boy band over here.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, where are y'all
Out of
selling?
Tim's got a-
T-shirt idea.
Tim's got a huge list.
I've got a couple places. Yeah, we do sell on, of course, messages on Facebook. If you're watching this, you want to know just there. When my pin post is,
I'm gonna go through each one of y'all's Facebook. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna and drop them in the comments.
and my pin post on the top is, hey, if you want to order here, do it. Send us a message. We'll get you hooked up. But we do have a website, t3tackleoutdoors.com. And then as far as stores, Nelson Outdoors, Wayne Lee's, Foul Play, Elsie's in Biloxi, Fort Bayou Bait Shop, the Ocean Springs Marine Mart, Master Bait and Tackle. I think that's all of them. But all of those places you can find our products, and some of those places have asked for certain things that they wanted specific, and so you can't.
Not everything has everywhere has everything.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool too.
Yeah.
That's actually a good business model too.
And that because if they want something that is more tailored to them, I can do that. If they want something that, hey, I want something that's a little bit different, hey, I can do that. And so you'll have different things at different places.
And
Well, one thing I was gonna say too, like what you just mentioned, there's a lot of big brands and big stores they do that nowadays. It's like an exclusive thing because of the internet. You can go on and search everything. Well, like big box stores now will say, I want to buy this thing, but I only want that color. Can we do some kind of deal where you only give me this color? It's my store only color, right?
I did have a small bait shop in South Louisiana that hit me up, and they wanted their colors in the sheephead jig heads.
There you go. There you go.
So I ended up making that for them, and then some of the other jig heads as well. But yeah, I've had some of that, and I can do that.
Sweet. So we can get any color of your stuff, or you just certain colors? Jig heads.
Relatively. I mean, I'm certain
yeah.
that I've got 15 different colors at the house. But the best sellers that I have by far, I have 5 main colors that are not the sheephead jig heads.
Yeah.
And that's white, pink, chartreuse, glitter red, and glitter gold. Those are the staple, I guess you could say.
Right.
And then I've got some other ones like Elsie's, for instance, in Biloxi. They wanted a white with a little bit of red glitter on it. It gives it that wounded fish look.
I love that.
Right.
One. I love that.
And so they're the only place that you can buy the wounded fish color.
He can fish pretty good himself.
He is.
Yeah.
He can.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Glenn's a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do have some ways that I can customize things, and I had Marcus McDavid. He asked me for some. He asked.
I'm trying to spell your shit. That's why I'm staring at your head.
What do you want?
Can't spell it.
He wanted a bush light.
Yeah, a bush light, a colored jig head.
He wanted like a fluorescent orange, and so I went out and got some of that. And since then, I've had quite a few people. Hey, can you do orange? And so I can do just about any color that you want, and but my staple is there. Like if you go on my website, those 5 colors that I listed are pretty much the ones that I have. Now, if you message me on Facebook and say, hey, I want some quarter ounce slot machines and this, I can probably make it happen.
Okay. Where are you at?
We are in Islander Outfitter, downtown Ocean Springs.
Okay.
Foul Play Outdoors. And
I just got that though. Did you Foul Play? That's kind of cool. I just figured
It's a duck.
No, got that part, but then I was like, oh, but wait a minute, Foul Play. That's like
it is,
yeah.
And then Nelson Outdoors. We got 3 other places that have ordered from us because it's right now getting springtime, right? We're coming up on spring.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had 3 other places order from us that we're working on now. So stay tuned to the Facebook page to see that where they'll be. We haven't put it out on order from us yet. If you're really in a bind and can't get them, like I've had people that are like, hey man, I'm in Florida, but I want your stuff. Send me a message on Facebook. I'll make them. We'll work it out. I haven't put orders out there to everybody yet to where you can just send me a message and do it. And we hadn't released a website. We're trying to focus on getting into every local store we can for putting it out there locally, and then we will go to that. But like I said, if you're somewhere and you're dying to get them, message us. We'll make them and send them to you. No problem.
I broke attention because I was looking at the comments. I did drop all of y'all's Facebook pages in the comments on the live right now, so it'll be there, and it'll also be tagged on the audio side of things. But I wanted to hear what you just said again. Are you're focused on getting in the brick and mortar stores locally first before online sales?
Yeah, right now where you don't technically advertise that, hey, shoot us a message and order what you want, and we have a website, but it doesn't have the products on it yet.
Okay.
I want to get into every store I can locally really right now, hopefully by the middle of summer, get it all there for all the local folks and all that, and then I'll move on to, hey, here's our website. Okay. We have this in stock. Okay. Here's all our stuff. But like I said, I've had plenty of people that are like, hey man, I'm in Pensacola. I'm here. I want your stuff. And I'm like, well, what do you want? And, I'll make it for you and send it to you. No big deal. Yeah. I'm good with it.
They're getting in at the ground floor right now.
Yeah.
Facebook is the best way to message.
Yes. Yeah. Facebook.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
What about you?
It's the same way for me. Facebook is the best way to reach out to me. But I'm in Foul Play over in Van Cleve, Nelson's in Pascagoula, and Cedar Swamp, Rocky's place over in Gulfport. I'm possibly going to be adding Kenny's Ocean Springs Marine Mart.
Yeah, man, he's a pleasure to hang out with.
We love Kenny on the show. That ain't no bullshit either. Seriously,
we do too. But I'll never forget.
I don't know why. He reminds me of my grandpa. That's
the very first time I walked into the shop.
Seriously,
what the hell you want?
Yeah,
that's exactly what
I'm in a bait shop,
right?
So I probably want some bait. Yeah. But Kenny's a good dude. Always been good to us.
Yes,
that's exactly what I was about to say. Me and Ty Cox's grandson have been best friends since he moved down here from Vicksburg back in middle school. And I remember one spring break, we went, I think we were going fishing somewhere. So we said, oh, let's go down to the Marine Mart and go get some bait. So we rode our bikes down there or whatever. And we walked in there and Kenny, just the ray of sunshine. That
yes.
The hell y'all want? It's
exactly.
like, well, but
the only way, bring one of your daughters in there or your wife.
Oh yeah.
It's a totally damn different person. Hey, baby, what you want?
Yeah.
What you need here? You want something free? Are you being bad? You need to be bad because your daddy's a prick. That's exactly what it is.
Jack Acevator was the same way. Same exact way.
My fiance sells shirts for him during his rodeo every year. So when I go in, it's changed a little bit now, but before when I used to go in there, I got the old salt attitude, treatment.
Yeah.
But you roll in there with her, you're freaking, you're good. You're royalty.
Yeah. He just don't talk to you; he talks to her.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And like a couple weeks ago, I went in there. He didn't care anything about what I had going on or anything.
Nothing.
He was like, "Hey, where's
you make what you do tackle?"
Yeah, pretty much.
Where's that girl? Wait a minute. Where's that girl?
Yeah, exactly. Joshua Lucas right here. He said, "Sharing, bro." I don't know what that means, but it did trigger something in my head. I dropped all three of their Facebook pages in the comments, like I said, and it will be linked for you audio people listening to this on the replay. Go give them a follow. It's very easy to go do that. Jump over there. The link's right there. Click on something. Go give them a follow on their Facebook page. And if you're into what they're doing, share it. Man, you don't understand. That's worth guys. You probably know if y'all are getting into it. Dude, a share from a personal Facebook page and not another page, dude. I'm throwing it out. That's $10 or something like that.
If you go and invite your friends, go to that thing and invite your
tell everybody.
Just all your friends.
That is like a ton of. If you had to pay Facebook, which we've done on running ads.
I've done it.
Yes, so many ideas.
I've done
No, he already said it. Yeah. No, but an invite all from a person's page, that is probably
money tomorrow.
I don't even know, dude. It's more than $100 if you did the correlation.
Yes,
that is worth a lot.
You are right.
Yes. So
and I want to bring up the point of staying local. You don't. I love Academy and I love Walmart or whatever when they're quick and easy.
Yeah.
But these are hometown guys making hometown stuff that have been tested in home waters.
Yes.
So keep your money.
Their
right here.
R&D department
That's right.
is them
It's
before
us.
they ever put it out.
That's right. And they're throwing it in Back Bay. They're throwing it in, Pascagoula River, all Gulfport Harbor, all that stuff.
But
man,
local,
What's wild is, obviously I'm trying to cater to our fishery. Obviously, that's where we fish. That's where we live. But I have people from all over. I have people from the East Coast catching giant stripers on my jig heads. I had a guy in Bimini order a bunch of jig heads. He tied up some bonefish jigs. He sent me a video and some stuff. Like, it's just really, really cool. Like, I'm trying to tailor it to here, but that does cross over in some aspects. So
we talk about exactly what you just said. Like, we want to be the hometown heroes because we love it here and we're from here and all that shit. But we're like, you know what? The thing that we're talking about reaches from Biloxi, Mississippi, in my mind, all the way from Texas to Florida.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
And
the whole Gulf Coast.
That's what I'm saying.
South Carolina, all of it. Anywhere you got water.
I didn't even think about that, but because they are the kind of same,
fish,
they're the same shit as us. But I'm like, I want to be locally centric, but also like if I go to Galveston or if I'm in Orange Beach, we're talking about the same thing,
right?
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah,
we're hyper local, but for you, it's the same shit.
Oh yeah.
Right. Skinny Water is headed to Wisconsin. Somebody said that. What is it? Courtney.
Yeah, Courtney. Yeah, we've sent baits a lot of places, man. Like I said, if you shoot us a message and you're like, "Hey, we're not from here. We want your baits. We've seen them. I'll make them to you. I'm good with it. We charge our base price per pack, and then I charge everybody a $5 flat rate shipping.
And if people have never been in the game, shipping is not cheap, man. It's crazy.
I had a lot of trial and error with shipping.
So have we've not checked the box where
what
they would pay the price and then we'd pay for the shipping.
Yeah.
We're like,
I had a glitch on my website.
Same thing.
One day I woke up and I was like, how are these people getting free shipping?
Yeah. That's right.
And then I found it, and it was if you had this certain product on this.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And then you ate $6.
That's right. Which is your margin.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
that's
like
a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
People don't understand. And I don't them because I didn't understand before we started doing this type of stuff.
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff wrong.
Yeah, but that's part of it. That's trial and error. I want to you got anything else?
No.
The only thing else I would want to do, just to kind of like specifically shout out, you've mentioned it, we've all said it, but like your Nelsons. Help me out, guys. All these local stores that are just asking you guys to be in there. Foul Play, Sea to Swamp. Who am I missing? Like, shout out to those stores for doing that.
Carrying a local product.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, shout out to Foul Play, Nelson's, Islander Outfitters, Glenn at Elsie's.
Thank you.
Big time.
They had our stuff in there.
Gore and Flows is we've talked with Gore and Flows. We've talked with Danny. Danny wants to do some in the spring, when it's coming up. Kenny, Marine Mart. Yeah, Ocean Springs Marine Mart.
We've had support from the big box stores, and we appreciate that too. And those are local people that live here and work here too. But when you have the guys that are, they don't have the big budgets and all that stuff, and they're reaching out to you guys.
It was funny with Kenny because I remember I was in the car with my wife one day, and with your phones now, if somebody calls you, if it's set up right, I guess it'll have caller ID, even if you don't have the number in your phone.
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
I didn't have Kenny's number in my phone, and I was in the car and I looked down, I get in the phone call and it says De Niro Kenny, and I was like, this is really odd. You know why? This is before I started selling anything to him, right?
Okay.
And so I'm like, maybe that's what it is.
Right.
I pick up. He's like, everybody's been asking. I guess it's time I call you. And I was like,
look, I don't like you. I don't like you. Right up the
Let me try this. Was it like this? Hey.
Yeah,
everybody's in my store asking for your stuff. Yeah, where do you sell it? How can I get it? Was it like that?
I'll put some stuff together and bring it down to you. He's like, all right, see you soon.
I want it as cheap as possible.
Yes,
and I ain't got no minnows. Or croaker. I mean,
stripper the same size they were last week.
That's awesome, man. That's killer. Gentlemen, thank y'all for being here today. I knew this was going to be a good one. That was very much fun. Thank y'all for supporting us in the tournaments and being here and everything you're doing. Keep doing what y'all are doing. Keep putting out the products. Are y'all going to be able to come to the tournament that day and walk around and talk? Every person that's affiliated with the sponsorships here, we said it the other day. Please come out and
I'm sure y'all are fishing.
No, me and my son will be fishing it. But we're gonna come out and be there. Yeah.
Who was we talking to? Was it Bayou Bows or who was it? Solus. And they were like, "Can we fish it?" We're like, "Hell yeah, we've been doing that for years." Like, if you think we're gonna scam the tournament to let a sponsor win, which you would be the one, you would be the most liable candidate.
Tim can't fish.
Not that we would scam it, but
if Tim wins, wins, I'm filing a complaint.
Right. Dude, I wish somebody would, because I would be like, come here. And I just pull up Facebook like, you see this? 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 That is why he won. You think because I lied? Kiss my ass.
Y'all want me to polygraph? I'll do it.
That's right.
Any day of the week.
Hey, he's sitting there like this, ice cold. Yes.
He's got like eight sheep's head belts in his house.
Hey, where did you catch it? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Right
wish
in the
somebody
mouth.
would. There you go.
Yeah.
But no, I think we'll all be there. I'll be fishing. I know Tim will. I think you were talking about it.
Yep, I sure will be.
Okay. Well, it's a whirlwind that day for us. We're doing a lot of things, but what
yeah.
I would ask y'all to do, please, is at some point, if you're comfortable, come up and just let me or Joey or one of us. And if you want to grab the mic or you don't want to be in front of the crowd, I'm going to be talking to the internet. Come on, and it helps us out too. Like, let's redo this whole, in a 5 to 10 minute fashion.
Right, yeah.
Right? Not an hour and a half.
Not an hour and a half.
Speak to the internet and promote your shit, man. That's part of
absolutely.
y'all being in the family now. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, Joe. You got anything else?
No. Killer,
Okay.
killer
All right. Well,
products.
again, thank y'all. Thank everybody for watching on the live, the replays, the audio podcast side of things, man. We enjoy doing this shit so much. If y'all keep tuning in, we'll keep doing them, and we'll see you on the next one.
Later.
Thank you.
Yeah.